Well, welcome to Littleton Common. I'm Barbara McRae, and today I have Bob Spinozzi with me, who is host of Small Town. And we're just going to reminisce a little bit because you are now in 2010. Uh-oh.
But you had a good Christmas, I trust?
I had a good Christmas and New Year's. And,
yep. And we had a white Christmas because of that big storm that we had the weekend before Christmas.
Right, yes. I'm hoping that everyone made it through that storm. At least it wasn't as bad as the storm of, '08?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. That was a tough one. This one was a little better. I think they cleared up a little. And in fact, school wasn't even canceled, I believe.
No.
So good.
Yep.
That means that they don't have to go extra days. How lucky for them. Well, so you enjoyed the storm. I mean, you got over it and you got through the holidays. Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
I can't do that anymore because as soon as I think about making a resolution, that year is gone. That's how quickly time goes by now. Isn't that terrible?
It does. It does. It goes by very fast. I don't think I've ever made a New Year's resolution. Maybe I've said it, you know. When you were younger, I said something about it,
right.
But I didn't do anything about it. How can you keep them anyway?
Right, and you know, one of the more popular ones seems to be, I'm going to lose 10 pounds the first month of the year. And then,
yeah.
You know, everyone seems to think about going on a diet that first part of the year, but it's tough to do. Dead of winter?
Yeah.
It really is.
With all the cakes and all the cookies and everything. Yeah, well, it's funny because for some reason, I must wear a lot of clothes in the winter because every spring, and this is the truth, it's really funny because of genes from my mother and my father, you know, I haven't gained, like, over the years much. But every spring, someone will come up to me and say, "You've lost 20 pounds." And I always go, 20 pounds? Where did that 20 pounds come from? But I think I go into the summer mode, you know, the lighter clothes and not as many undershirts.
But you also happen to be in the top 5 percentile of active people. You're always on the move, Barbara.
Well, I keep thinking that there'll be a day when I won't be, so I might as well keep
So you're making up for it now?
Exactly. Then I can look back and say, I did it. Now you do it, you know. But I'm looking at my list because I decided to make a list today to see what we could, you know, talk about.
Well, you were talking about some of the shows that we've done this year, and you mentioned the storm. And Mark and I did I thought, a really fun show commemorating the 1-year anniversary of that ice storm that you mentioned from 2008.
Right.
And we had that on last month, and I had a great time doing a story about the 2 diners that were in Littleton.
Yeah, that's fun.
You had a lot of fun being up in an airplane from one of the...
Yeah, I know. That was great when we had the flight simulator.
Yes.
One month, and then, making the wooden bowl with... You know, that was great fun. Because I like tools. I love to build things, and it was a little scary though, you know, with the grinding wheel or whatever it's called.
Yeah, is that called a lathe?
Lathe.
Yeah.
And I have my own words for my tools.
Well, wasn't he telling you that he more or less gets, I'll call it roadkill? He does get old limbs and...
From Littleton?
Yeah, remnants of water from...
Or wherever, but it's funny because since we did that show, I've run into people who say, "Oh, I called him because I had a tree down and, you know, I told him to come over and get my tree. And my tree was very special. It was a certain kind of wood and he could use it." That's the one thing that maybe people don't understand. I had a woman approach me the other day and say, "I watched your show. It must take a lot of research and time to do it because I know that you have to, you know, get the information and talk to the person first." And she was so right. I said to her, "Thank you for understanding that you don't just say, 'So Bob, let's go on today.'"
Just talk for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and not have a little something in mind about what you want to do. So,
Yeah, there are a lot of little pieces involved, and wouldn't it be great if we could get some of the viewers to join us this year and get involved in the station?
Yeah, that, we keep asking that we do have fun here. We do enjoy what we're doing, and most people say to me, I'd be so scared. And I think, no, you wouldn't be scared. You get over it once you're there, because you're really just sitting, relaxing, and talking. And if you have a little bit of knowledge about the subject, and even if you don't, because I feel like I keep learning things. I keep learning things, and that's the joy I get out of it too. And hopefully someone watching learns a little something too, or gains a little something from it.
Absolutely. In fact, later this month, my show this month, I believe, is going to be on the banks in town. So I'm going to have to do some research on the banking industry in general too. So I'm going to be learning something that I'm not aware of right now.
Right. And I like the fact, and thank you very much, everybody, when you tell us, you see us, and you tell us that you've been watching the show and you like a particular one. Because then we kind of know which direction you want us to go in, too. I have a couple of ideas for the next few months. I need to talk to people first before I can say what they are, but we have ideas and we work at it. And, again, if anyone is interested in just coming in, why don't they come in and visit us and see how it works if they have an interest.
But if you have any ideas that you think would be of interest to people in town, please let us know as well.
Sure. I'm finding out. That's the one thing about doing this, too. I'm finding, when I keep saying on the show, there are so many people in Littleton that are, of interest. There really are.
Yeah.
I mean, even families here that had kids that graduated from Littleton High that have gone on to really great jobs or different things.
No, in fact,
can't get over it.
After we finish this piece, I do have an idea for you.
Oh, okay, good.
We're not going to talk about it now, but...
Good. All right, see? Happens right here. Someone said to me, you must really have to do, find people out there. And I go, no, actually, I never leave Shattuck Street. They walk in, and it's like, do you want to be on television? And most of the time they say yes. This town to me is so wonderful, too, with different activities that go on here. Like, I just drove by Fay Park, and I saw how they had cleared away a spot for ice skaters. That's Norman Rockwell looking.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you go by, there's the gazebo and the ice, and then during weekends, the Unitarian Church usually has music. They have people there that sing and play instruments, and
well, you mentioned Prouty. You mentioned Norman Rockwell, and Prouty Woods is something that's picture perfect, if I could put the two thoughts together there. It really is. And in fact, you did a show there a couple of years ago.
I did.
Walking through the woods.
Exactly, to show people the paths and everything. And you went to the Norman Rockwell
Yes,
Museum.
we did in November. Yeah.
So did you get a little Littleton feeling out of it?
I did, yeah.
I'm really reaching, folks.
We have our own theater here, though.
Yeah.
The Cannon Theater is in the Mill Building.
Right.
It's a very small, intimate theater. But then, of course, we also have the large auditorium at the high school now.
Right.
And they have a production that is on this month, the Footloose, the musical.
Oh, really?
And I believe it's a group of about 70 kids, 6th grade through 10th grade, I believe.
Oh, how great.
It's going to be a great production.
Great. They do have great productions. We went to see A Christmas Carol, and I have to say right here that the sound of those children singing was perfect.
Yes.
They were fabulous. I mean, I sat there with my mouth open. I couldn't believe the sound coming off that stage. They were like, they should have been in Boston singing at the theater there. They were perfect. It was wonderful. So they do a good job.
And then speaking of great sounds, of course, we have the Indian Hill Music School.
Right.
And I know we've done several things there, and I know I've gone to some concerts there.
Anyway, just wanted to get together with you and chat a while, and welcome everybody to 2010.
So you know what? There might be one New Year's resolution, and that's to have some really good programs this year.
Yeah, well, then we're both going to have to make that one. because I get jealous, you know. Or is it I become a diva or something when you do a show and I like it so much, and then I go, oh, I've got to do one now better than that, you know? So
And I know you're just kidding, because we all work very well as a team, every one of us.
we do. And so why don't you stay tuned now, and we'll just, I have to get over to my news desk.
Okay.
And tell people what's kind of happening around here for
Okay.
January, and then talk to Lauren Tracy, and that'll be fun. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, welcome back to Littleton Common. Just a few moments ago, Bob Spinozzi and I were reminiscing about the shows that we've done, and I totally went blank when it came to mentioning some of the names that were on my show. So I want to apologize to Phil St. Germain, who did that wonderful bowl on his show with me, and also to Tom Perry, who did the flight simulator program with me, and that was so fun, and I enjoyed it, and I didn't want them to think that I forgot who they were. It just hit me at the moment. So just remember that we welcomed them and we had a good time. I hope you enjoyed your holidays. I certainly enjoyed mine, but they started with the Holiday Bazaar, and then the Thrift Shop Fair here at Shattuck Street, and then it was Christmas week, and I wasn't ready. I had to do the last-minute shopping the day after the snowstorm. And by the way, did you survive that? It wasn't that bad this time. We actually had school and we were able to get around. But did you get everything you wanted at the bazaar? The garden club did very well, and so did our thrift shop. I hope everyone else did too. We don't have too much to report on this month, but I will give you what we do have. We're getting close to tax time. And remember, we have assistance here at the Council on Aging for you seniors and low-income taxpayers. So call and make an appointment if you need help. Tony Jasinski will be here and ready to get your tax forms off and running. So call 978-540-2470 and make a reservation. Shine Officer Bob Selling is here with health information for you seniors. It's a free confidential health care information, assistance, and counseling service to elders and other Medicare beneficiaries. So call the office at 978-540-2470 for an appointment. Bob has a wealth of information, and he is really happy to assist you. Tina Mader's Living Alone support group will meet on Thursday, January 21st at 10:30 in room 230. That's the second floor on Shattuck Street. The number to call is 540-2472. If you're alone, please call Tina and come on in. You want to check your blood pressure? We'll come to the Senior Diner on January 12th and let Tamara Bedard check it for you. Pine Tree Park has a new time for its blood pressure clinic, and that's from 10 to 11 in the morning. And the next clinic is on January 28th. Gail Dalton is at the diner with news on what's happening this month. Hi, Gail.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2010. I can't believe it. My son my baby will be graduating high school this year. And my daughter's graduating college this year. I can't believe it. My goodness. When I started here, they were still in high school and elementary school. And wow, I think I'm getting older gracefully, I hope. Hopefully everyone will tell me that when they come into the site, that I still look good. All right, for the month of January, Let's see, on the 13th, Wednesday, that will be the birthday luncheon, so anybody whose birthday is in the month of January, Minuteman Senior Services will gladly pay for your lunch, and the COA provides a beautiful, beautiful cake. So come on down so we all can sing happy birthday to you. And then on Thursday, the 14th, will be the ladies' breakfast, and I think that starts earlier now. I do believe it's at 8 o'clock in the morning that they start a little bit earlier. And also on the 18th of Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so the site will be closed. And on the 20th will be the men's breakfast. Same thing, they start earlier, so I even think maybe it's 7:30, I think they say they start, so they can get the kitchen cleaned up by 9, so my food's coming in earlier. And on the 21st, Minuteman Senior Services will be having their special luncheon. I really don't know what it is, but usually it's like a chicken cordon bleu or something like that, so look at the menu and find out what that date is, and please call up and come on down. And I think that is it for us. Also, during snow days, if Littleton Public Schools are closed, we are closed. And sometimes Minuteman Senior Services will shut down the site, and the only station that carries that news will be on Channel 7, and it will say Minuteman Meal Program closed. Okay, so you look for Minuteman Meal Program closed, and that way you know that there'll be no Meals on Wheels served or meals here, sit-down lunch, okay? So everybody come on down and come in here and get warm.
Thank you. I am really proud of the Friends of the Council on Aging Board. We have new members and they are jumping in to help make our fundraising a success. We have a treasurer and an assistant treasurer working daily to keep the bookkeeping up to date. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your hard work. You know, the thrift shop is run by the Friends and is a source of revenue for our fundraising. With your donations and purchases, we have been able to have funds for outreach and COA programs. So keep those donations coming and bring a friend to the thrift so we can help any senior in Littleton who needs us. Or start a program to make life a little more fun. Remember, the thrift is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So come on by. Some of the programs we have are not being used as much as we'd like. Now, one is the use of our new pool table, and you're keeping it new because you're not using it. We got this table because some of our men thought they would like to have one here. Well, here it is, and you're not coming in to wear it out. What would help to pique your interest? Call us at 540-2470 or send a note or email to bjtrm@aol.com and help us help you. Our other fun day is Friday with the Wii game. A few of our ladies have been bowling with the Wii. It is really a great exercise and a lot of laughs. Don't be shy. Come in and investigate. At least do that. You may decide you've been missing out on a very good time. And ladies and men are invited. We need more for Scrabble. Mahjong is doing well, but you can still come and join. Like I said, just drop in. We will be glad to see you. Besides, what's stopping you? The Explorers Club is another program you seem to enjoy, and Barbara Cam has been doing a great job finding places to take you. This month, we are entertaining you right here in room 230, and Bob Stetson is taking us to Amsterdam and Switzerland in some of the canal trips. So join Bob on January 28th at 1 p.m., again in room 230, second floor, Shattuck Street. I also want to mention that Barbara Cam was ill with pneumonia in December, and hope you're much better now, Barbara. We need you and your smiling face right here. Neshoba Valley is offering the Young at Heart Ski Program. There are 6 one-hour lessons offered on Mondays and Wednesdays starting January 4th. The cost is $180. This is for 55 and over. Hey, there are free donuts at 9 a.m. and the lessons start at 10. So you can ski from 9 to 5 on lesson days. We are so lucky to have a ski area right next door, so if you can, use it or just go watch. That is something to do while you're having lunch. Call Bill Ewing at 978-692-3033 for information. Now, do you know anything about loaves and fishes? I thought I did until Judy Grande came in to tell us more about it. I was surprised and impressed at what they do. So Judy is here right now. Let's listen to what she has to say. Judy?
Thank you, Barbara. I'm here to tell everybody about Loaves and Fishes, which is a wonderful organization located out of the old Fort Devens, 234 Barnum Road, in just off the Rotary and Air. We serve roughly 500 families in the 5 towns that we serve, which is Littleton, Groton, Air, Harvard, Shirley, and the town of Devens, which isn't really a town yet. We have 3 part-time employees, 1 full-time employee, our executive director, Patty Stern, and over 300 active volunteers. Loaves and Fishes is a little bit different from most food pantries. We serve not only provide groceries, but we also have clothing, and we provide some social services, referral services to other agencies, so that if someone needs some assistance with heating or medicine, we can help them find the resources they need. Loaves and Fishes also has several holiday programs that are just wonderful. At Thanksgiving, we have an extra food distribution, and people can come in and get turkeys and hams and all the fixings for Thanksgiving dinner for them and their families. We have a Shop for Your Parents Day, where the parents can bring their kids to the Shriver Job Corps Center. The parents and all the kids have breakfast. We had 600 people at breakfast last Friday. And we let the parents stay in the dining room, and then we take the kids through. They can get gifts for their parents, new gifts, and they're wrapped by volunteers at the Shriver Job Corps Center. And then the kids get to take the gifts home to give them to their parents for the holidays. This past Monday, we had our Shop for Your Kids Day, which is the reverse of that. The parents come in, they get a big toy and 2 or 3 smaller toys for their kids. They get books. We had some nice coats. We have stocking stuffers and just jewelry, and it's a wonderful thing, because Loaves and Fishes realizes that people aren't in this position because they want to be, and their kids suffer a lot because of it. And we want to make everybody's lives as normal as possible. And this way they can use the money to buy medicine or pay for heat or rent. We can give them enough food for several meals a month. If each family can come in twice a month. We have no income restrictions. Anyone who wants to come can come and say they need food, and as long as they live in one of our towns, they get food. We are not a government agency. We don't have any kind of super restrictions. We're here to help people. A lot of people ask me why I got involved. One of the main things is because it is local. We're helping our neighbors. It's not like sending a check off to one big hole of a charity. And the national charities are wonderful, and there's a lot that they do, but this is local. It helps our neighbors and our friends. And it's just heartwarming to see how much even a little bit of volunteering can help them. It's a very hands-on kind of organization. We respect our clients, we respect their confidentiality, and everything is done with a feeling of love and nurturing. And it's just, I get back more than I give. And I just love working with these people. The volunteers are great. Patty, our executive director, everybody works together. There's no, oh, that's my job, I'm not going to do it, or there's none of that. We all work together. And when you pull off a Shop for Your Kids Day like we just did, where we had over 200 families come through, and we probably provided gifts for 600 kids, you need that kind of teamwork. And And I have to thank people like the Littleton Police Department, who collected hundreds of toys for us. AIR did the same thing. We have, everybody just pitches in and helps, and it's just an amazing organization. This year we're facing some new challenges. We have many, many more clients. We have about 20% more clients than we did last year. We also are down in our cash donations by almost 30%. So we're struggling to keep the level of donations, the level of support where it should be while facing those challenges. And a lot of the local grocery stores and everybody are helping us out with extra food donations. I had a woman from an employee at CVS call me this morning, and she donated 125 cans of coffee. And it's just, it's critical that people realize this is all going locally, and we really need your help, because it is a very, very loving organization, and we're helping your neighbors and your friends, and it's, if you can give. If you can't, give us a couple of hours a month. And if you need our services, come out to the pantry. Our phone number is 978-772-4627. We're open every Wednesday and Friday mornings from 9 to noon. We're open the second Tuesday of every month from 6 to 8. And we're open on the first and third Saturdays from 9 till noon. So if you need any help, come in during any of those hours. We'll welcome you with open arms, and we'll give you whatever we can to help you. So thank you, and Barbara, I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about this, because it is very, very dear to my heart, as you can probably tell. And I encourage everybody to come for a tour. Come see how the pantry operates. You'll end up wanting to volunteer. So thank you.
Louise Curley has been telling me about a program called 5 Wishes. The 5 wishes are: the person I want to take care of decisions for me when I can't. And 2, the type of medical treatment I want or don't want. And 3, how comfortable I want to be. 4, how I want people to treat me. And 5, what I want my loved ones to know. Now, these are things we don't want to think about right now, but we will wish we had talked about it sooner. Number 1 and 5 seem really important to me, like who do I want to make decisions for me when I can't, and what I want my loved ones to know. So why don't you call the COA office and find out about this, because RN Judy Denitis will be the speaker on January 14th in room 230 to help you understand how important the 5 wishes are. Call 540-2470 to let them know you are coming. It maybe wouldn't be a bad idea to bring along a family member who will have to make these decisions. These are hard to do, so make it easy on yourself and the family, and come in and listen to what Judy Denitis has to say. Right now, let's listen to what Evan Theovalakis has to say about Indian Hills activities this month.
Thanks, Barbara. And it's 2010, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate than with music over here at Indian Hill Music. And we've got lots of stuff going on this month, from the teen open mic, our Jammin' on the Hill, which happens on Friday, January 8th from 7 to 10 p.m. So if you've got a garage band and you'd like to perform here at Indian Hill, give us a call at 486-9524, and you can get more information about how to participate in that Jammin' on the Hill. Chamber music over at the Kaleidoscope Gallery in Groton. We're presenting the Weilerstein Duo, violin and piano, performing music by Schumann, Ravel, and Ionescu. And that's going to be really great on Saturday, January 9th at 8 p.m. And again, that's at the Kaleidoscope Gallery in Groton. And you can check us out online, indianhillmusic.org, for more information about that and other events. Our Jazz Jam for jazz players who want to just come in and jam together. That's Friday, January 15 at 7 p.m. And there's a $5 per person admission on that. So again, give us a call, 486-9524, to get more information about that. Our box lunch for the month returns on Thursday, January 21 at noon with fabulous vocalist Paul Pampanella and guitarist Eric Baldwin doing jazz standards. So that'll be a lot of fun. Our free monthly concert, January 21 at noon, the box lunch we call it. Families, we've got our monthly pajama jam coming back on Friday, January 22 at 6:30 p.m. and that's a free event for families. It's a musical story hour, so you can really sit down and have some fun with your young kids. And to top it all off for the month, January 24th, a Sunday, the Orchestra of Indian Hill performs Baroque and Beyond, we're calling it. Great Baroque pieces from Bach's Brandenburg Concerto No. 2 to Pachelbel's Canon. So that's Sunday, January 24th, 3 p.m. over at Littleton High School. So you can get tickets and information online, indianhillmusic.org, or by phone, 486-9524. And I hope to see you here at Indian Hill Music.
Oh, and by the way, Indian Hill has a new senior ticket offer for their afternoon concert on January 24th. It's $15 per person, and that's for age 65 and over. And you can call or in person or make your order. And that's only in person or phone, because it's not going to be available online. And the name of the concert is Baroque and Beyond, featuring Matthew Truss. And why don't you call 486-9524, extension 30, if you would like to go to this and get your tickets. This is a reminder that the town offices will be closed on Monday, January 18th. Why don't you stay with us right now for our guest, Lauren Tracy. If you read the Boston Sunday Globe, you probably read the Boston Uncommon section in the November 1st Boston Globe magazine. It's about former Littleton resident Lauren Tracy, an up-and-coming filmmaker. Ron Martin, a member of our cable committee, did read this issue. He then contacted Lauren and invited her to visit our studio. She did. And here she is, my guest today. Lauren, welcome today to our show.
Thank you, Barbara.
You know, I was reading your bio and I thought, oh, if I was 21, that would be me, because of, you know, enjoying well, not filmmaking in my case, but, you know, videography and editing and even things like this, the interviews.
Yes.
Yes, but I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was your age. I only found that out when I started getting my Social Security.
It's never too late, though.
You know, it isn't. It is never too late, because you find something new to do and you shouldn't be afraid, because so oftentimes we want people to come in and try this out and have fun with us, and they're actually afraid. But, you know, at 21, you can just go out there and do whatever you want. But you know, you were lucky, because you started knowing what you wanted to do so early.
Yes.
And you had your family's support.
Which is very important. A lot of people don't, especially in the film business or any art business. So I'm really happy about that.
Exactly.
Yes.
And one of the things that you had is a dad who encouraged you.
Yes.
And I can appreciate that, because I also had a dad that you know, encouraged me to do things that I enjoyed. In my talent, if I had art talent or anything, he encouraged it. And so today I kind of miss him, because he would be here with us, you know, doing sets or something like that, and he would enjoy it too.
Yeah.
So, you know, tell us a little bit how you got started. I understand that you know, watched movies and really got into how they were made, you know, thinking about how they were made, and that started you on this career.
Yes. Well, I should say that my dad always did home movies from when we were really young. We did a movie called Small Change starring my mom and I, which was hysterical, and he just had fun with that. So I was kind of influenced by that, but didn't really realize it that much until now, I think, you know, all of that. But I was an artist in high school, and I decided that drawing and painting wasn't enough for me. It was a little bit too solitary for me. I wasn't involved with people enough, and film kind of satisfied that. And I took a couple classes in high school, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good. It's funny, again, here we are. I may be 100 years older than you, but you're saying things like I would say if I were your age. And I also was an art student, and doing this is like being in still the painting side. I mean, you know, because when you edit.
Yes, very much. Editing is the closest thing, I think. For me, it's writing, and then editing is the closest thing to that, that flow that you get in art, I think. I don't really touch so much on the visual side. I'm not a cinematographer. I write, I direct, and I edit. So, I mean, yes, those are visuals, and I don't do animation, so I'm not drawing, but it's very closely tied to art.
Yes, yeah. And I guess that editing is something that you really like to do?
Yes.
I do too.
I know, we were talking about that.
Except that, you know, I'm really kind of jealous of you now that I think about it. Maybe in my next life I'll know that I want to do this.
No problem.
Yeah, and they'll have better stuff to use.
Right.
But yeah, I have some notes here because I wanted to remember things that I want people to know about you. And so, you know, you saw, like we were just saying, you saw beyond the art and the, you know, into the directing and the whole production of this. And, you know, I think that it's fascinating too. So tell me about, you went to school in Rochester, right?
Yes, I did. Rochester Institute of Technology. And I studied film there. It is a very big engineering school, but we also have a lot of art programs. So I liked RIT. I decided to go there because we got to use cameras from day one, basically.
Wow.
Everything from silent black and white film on a Bolex camera. For those of you who know what that is, it's a tiny kind of, you have to wind it, and it only goes for something like 28 seconds, and then you have to wind it again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and there's no sound, and then we edit that just manually, not digitally. So analog, it was like cut, splice.
I know.
So that was an interesting experience. I found that very fun, but obviously not that practical now. So we learned digital also. So we were working on video, and we did experimental film, narrative, documentary, the whole works.
Well, I guess starting out with that particular type of camera, you'd have to love it to keep going.
Well, yeah.
To the next thing.
Unless you were not going to do anything with cameras and work with, you know, just animation or something like that.
But you won some awards?
Yes. I think the one you're specifically talking about is I went to Slam Dance, which is a smaller festival in the same town, Park City, Utah, as Sundance in the winter. And that was a fantastic experience because it's basically, I mean, if you're in the same town at the same time, it's basically you're going to Sundance. So I got to see Sundance films and experience that and go to some Slam Dance parties. And what I was there for was a 10-day documentary film competition. So I was chosen to be a director. There were 8 teams, and I was working with 3 other people in my group, and we did a documentary, and at the end I won Best Emerging Director, so that was really exciting.
Well, this is good.
Yes, and I made a lot of contacts, and a couple of the kids that I work with live in LA, and I'm going to LA soon, so I have some friends there. So basically what you were saying, you know, just go for it. Don't wait, because even people at my age, they wait, you know, and then
you have been encouraged, remember. You have.
Oh, yes, I have.
You have somebody saying, it's okay, honey, I want you to go ahead with this because you love it.
More than that, my dad's listening to this right now, but he told me basically when you go out to LA, you know, jokingly, but kind of, don't come back until you have your name on a big feature film. So yes, there is some encouragement there.
Well, good. See, he has confidence in you.
Yes.
So Great. And well, that's because you've been doing it. You went to school for something that you really like to do. You went to a film festival. You won an award for that, and now you've even got your own filmmaking business. What do
we X Factor Filmmakers.
Yep.
My dad and I, it's our company, and we encourage filmmakers like myself, female filmmakers.
Right.
And we do eventually want to maybe turn that into a kind of company that funds major films, big feature films by women. But right now what we do is sell T-shirts and raise money for emerging professionals or students.
Oh, little T-shirts like this one?
Like this one, yes. This one we gave to Barbara. This is our Supporting Women in Film double helix.
Oh, I love this, supporting women in film. I love it. This is so for me. I am so happy to have this. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well,
you're welcome.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that. Women in film. Is there an age limit? I'm going out for it. I'm not going to go out for it. Don't worry. Why I am beyond that. Well, maybe. I don't know. Well, anyway. But I just wondered, is there like an age that you feel is, you know, when they should go out for an award?
No. We basically are saying that we need to support female directors and cinematographers because there aren't that many. There's a lot of editors, there's a lot of TV producers that are women.
Oh.
There's a lot on the art department side of film.
Right.
Cinematographers, it's fluctuating slightly, but it's about 2% working in the major theatrical films. And for directing, it's somewhere between 6 and 11 right now. It's on the lower end of that. And that's
I just
not
wonder.
great in 2009.
Well, it might be scary for them too. There's a lot of men out there, and
Right.
yeah, and they're maybe, are the women just getting into this anyway, right? But
they've been around.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I kind of compare it to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
there aren't that many women doing that, and just recently, you know, a few have kind of made it up to the big time, basically. And Hollywood has always been a man's world. It's not even really that old of a business. I mean, it's just early 1900s, basically, is when everything started. So it's just taken a while because it was mostly financial. I mean, it's a business, and there's a lot of money in this business, this entertainment business. And so for women to get to the top of it as a creative head, they also need to have that professional side to them. And if they weren't raised like that, like a lot of women haven't been for a long time, it's just starting to change, then they're not going to get up there. But it's been kind of even for about 10 years. It's actually not, there aren't more directors than there were in the last 10 years. It's kind of the same. It's not really changing that much, so we stepped in and said, okay, I'm going to be trying to do this, so let me help other people after, hopefully, I become successful.
Well, that's
or as I
nice.
go, you know, help the people that are trying to do what I started to do 4 years ago.
Well, let me see. We'll look again for you in about 10 years. Maybe if my granddaughter wants to do this or something, I'll send her to you. You have an award from your company. Again, I want to make sure that they know that it's called the X Factor Films.
X Factor Filmmakers is the company. xfactorfilm.com is our website.
Oh, good. Okay, that's what I thought we'd let people know.
Yes.
Women know.
Yes.
Girls know.
Well, everybody. I mean, we have shirts for men and women because, you know, a portion of the proceeds go to these women.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you're a male or female,
So
you can
hopefully
support them.
there's a lot of dads out there that'll buy the T-shirts and get their daughters going in this, right?
Right.
Well, they probably will now if they heard there's money in that field.
Right.
Let's see. Yes, because you have a contest.
Yes, that's actually just finishing right now,
It
but
is.
I'll tell you about it. Basically, it kind of gives some insight into the industry and what's been going on. there are 32 films in this contest. It was an online contest where we said, okay, come on in and predict what female filmmaker you think, based on the films that are here, that they've made over the last 30 years, is going to win the best movie out of all of them.
Oh.
So we had people predict, and you could win a Netflix subscription. So, and there are other prizes as well. And then we had the next rounds where you would come in and vote. And so you were predicting who, what the voters were going to end up voting on. And if you get that right, then you win the prize.
Oh.
Right now, it's down to the wire. It's The Hurt Locker by Catherine Bigelow versus Lost in Translation by Sofia Coppola.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see who wins.
Well, do you let those women know that they won?
Well, actually, it's interesting you say that, because Catherine Bigelow, her movie, just came out in 2009, and there's talk about it maybe being up for an Oscar. And Sofia Coppola's film was up. She was up for Best Director. She's the only American ever, female American, excuse me, ever nominated for Best Director. And so Catherine Bigelow being, you know, their talk of her possibly being nominated is a really big deal. So I'm proud of our voters because they pick very good movies. And Catherine Bigelow, I actually met her this year. She had, yes, a screening at the Harvard Film Archives of this movie, The Hurt Locker. And afterwards we gave her a shirt. Actually, I think it was that shirt, maybe in black, but I'm pretty sure it was the same one.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
If I ever meet her, I'll make sure I'm wearing it. When I go to the Oscars.
And we told her about what we're doing, and I got her contact info. We've kind of been having a dialogue, so.
Wonderful.
If she wins, I don't know, maybe we could, you know, find some way to do an interview with her.
That would be great.
In some way.
Maybe they'd allow that. I mean, you know, let's face it, they're especially when you're talking about, you know, doing something for women in film.
Right.
I mean, and she'll understand what you're trying to do. Why wouldn't she give you an interview? Because it would be important to her, too. Coppola, though, isn't that a big name as far as, you know, films anyway? Yeah.
With
so
her father, Francis Ford
She was
Coppola.
born into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is also one of the things about the film industry is if the only woman that's ever won, I mean, she's very talented, but still she's the only woman who's ever been nominated from the U.S. For Best Director. I mean, it's really, really hard to break into this industry unless you know somebody, usually. So.
Well, we're going to know you.
Yes, there you go.
I just think it's going to happen. I do. I just think it's going to happen.
Oh, well, thank you.
Let's see now. Okay, you mentioned that you were working with a composer for a 2-minute film that you were doing.
I hope I can show you guys, your viewers, this movie too.
Okay.
We just finished it, and I wrote, directed, and edited this, but I needed a composer to do the music, so I wasn't using copyrighted music. It was for a contest called the Sparky Awards, where the theme of your video had to be the importance of sharing information. It's kind of an educational contest, and they're trying to promote any kind of sharing of information, and specifically online stuff like Wikipedia. Where multiple people are contributing to it. So that was the theme of it, but what I did was take it back to my childhood and note passing in like an elementary school or junior high situation.
Oh, wow.
And the benefit, despite that you're not supposed to do that in class, that can happen. So that, and it's kind of a comedy, so.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Do you have a lot of contests that you can enter for different awards and grants and you know, I mean, since you are a woman, do they have a lot of things like this for women to enter so that they can win?
Well, that was one of the reasons why we started X Factor Filmmakers. Was because there are grants out there. There aren't a lot specifically for women in film. There is a Women in Film organization that tries to help as much as they can, but they're just one organization. And there are grants out there, but there's only so many. I mean, out of all of the kids making movies in my film school, only a few of them, you know, got any kind of financial help for their thesis films, and the rest of them are paying a couple $100 or a couple $1,000,
Right,
depending
because
on what they want to do.
must be expensive.
They are expensive, and I know that firsthand. So that was one of the things my dad and I kind of said, how, I mean, I could afford it to a certain extent, but people who can't, I mean, then they can't do it. They
Right.
literally can't go to film school.
So then they're not going to be women in film if they can't afford to
Right.
enter these things or have that kind of money.
Right.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But maybe along the way it'll happen, you know, where if you keep spreading the word.
Right.
You know. Well, you know, that's quite hard to think about. I mean, especially if you want say your child wanted to be
Right.
going to school and doing all these things, and you just don't. I mean, this is what they should do, and you just don't have that kind of money, or
Right.
you know, to enter that would be very hard.
A lot of people in that case, a lot of people say you don't need to go to film school to be a filmmaker, which is very much true, but film school gives you a certain leg up, especially if you make some kind of connections. You've already worked with the equipment, you've taken classes on writing. It would just take a lot longer for someone to get into it without going to film school. But a lot of successful people have. They just go to LA or they go to New York or some other, you know, kind of film-focused city, and they work their way up, literally from getting coffee to the next step, meeting people, showing them your talents, so forth. And the ironic thing is that even me coming out of film school, I probably will have to do that
I was
as
just
well.
going to say, you know,
It's not exactly like other industries where you come
Right.
out of school, if you're a good student, you get a job that's paid.
Right.
It's not like that because you have to build your work. It's not based on GPA, it's based on, you know, your reel or what you can show people.
yeah. And you've
So.
got to get out there to show them.
Yeah.
So that's got to be hard. Now, the friends that you're going to see in LA, are they working in the industry, or are they bringing coffee?
Some of them are students. Some of them are maybe in other industries and kind of breaking into the film industry in a way.
Right.
Whether it be, you know, they're special effects and they're in one field, or they do websites or something like that, and they want to get into animation. They still have a basic skill set, but they have to kind of morph over. But then there are some people that I know that are working in the industry that are older than me that I've worked under. For example, Hamill was a feature film shooting in Rochester this past fall. So I was lucky enough before I graduated at the end of the fall to be able to work on that as an intern. So my title was intern to the producers, which was great. And the woman that I worked under lives in LA, and so does the director, and I've basically become friends with them, and so I'll have them to help me when I go out there.
Yeah. Well, obviously you must have done a good job, or they wouldn't have stayed friends with you, especially if you said you were coming to LA.
Right, right.
You know.
Yeah, you always have to be hardworking. Right. That happens too. Don't be one of those.
But you're going, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried about you at all. Okay, I did ask you already if there was an age limit, but I don't know. I don't want to say that there would be, because I would imagine if you're 40 years old, I'm not going to say 65, but you know, but at least 40. I mean, why not? I mean,
Right.
actors go out there and start at 40 and 50.
I mean, honestly, though, people don't really get their break directing a feature film until, I don't know what the average is, but I don't know of anybody under the age of 28, and 28 was the youngest I ever heard of. Ever. So,
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are in their 40s or even 50s before they direct something that's very well known.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that's, you know, keep going. That's
Yeah.
all I can say is keep going. If you really care about something, just keep doing it until
Yeah.
you get there.
Yeah.
You know, and I love these stories that you hear about actors or whatever when they say, "Oh yes, moved to California, and 2 days later they were starring
Right.
in, and I'm thinking,
very, very rare.
yeah,
That's why
right.
you're hearing about it.
Yes, you were working at it in New York or
Right.
Boston a lot before you went out there. Don't tell us it was a one-day thing. So that's probably where kids go out there thinking, you know, I'm going to do this in a day, just like so-and-so did. You know, they became a star or director or whatever in a day. But you're lucky because you've got Dad. So Dad's probably saying, it's okay, honey, but it's going to take a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gee. So, is there anything else that, you know, you feel that you'd like to tell our audience? Because there may be somebody out there, some girl that's thinking along this. In fact, I think I might know one who's thinking along the same lines as you and a little concerned. So, what advice do you have?
I would say a lot of things. But I also will say that I could give you my email for sure, and if anybody wants to contact me, I'd be more than willing to do that. Because,
that's great.
I actually did a video conference with an organization in Seattle called Real Girls. It's a high school program for girls who want to get into film, and a couple of them have gone on to NYU and they feel more skilled than everybody else. But I had this conversation with them, and afterwards the director said that they were really, one of the greatest things that they had experienced so far was talking with me, just because then they got to see what it's going to be like for the next couple of years for them. The hardest thing, I think, is not knowing what's going to happen next.
Right.
And this is what I would say. Because of that reason, you have to be prepared for everything. You have to be prepared to work for free, do an internship for free, have a part-time job that you never would see yourself doing. Apply for those harder jobs. Apply for the harder film festivals. Also go for the smaller ones. You can shoot for the skies, but you need to have, you know, your backup plan, basically. And eventually you'll get there.
Good. Yes. Why don't you tell us your email so that they can...
Again, the website is www.xfactorfilm.com, and my email is Lauren Tracy, LaurenTracy @xfactorfilm.com.
Well, so now you're on your way to LA.
Yes.
And I just want to say that here's to a great future in the industry.
Thank you.
But I also want to thank you for being here with us today. And may I have your autograph?
Not yet, not yet. I'll have to invite you to some fancy party and I'll give it to you there.
I wanted to have it before everyone else got it, because you'd say, well, I'm not so sure if you're getting the autograph today.
Right. I don't know.
Well, I have a little cup for you, and it actually came from our thrift shop, and it says Hollywood, California.
I'm going to take it with me.
Good. I figured you'd have to have something to start out with.
Thank you.
And here's looking at you, kid.
Wonderful.